Hello, everyone out there, and welcome back to the Elite Racing Network for the 2022B Mrs. Goodies Grand National Series coming at you live from the Nashville Fairgrounds tonight. It's going to be a short track, pretty much one lane. We might see some side by side racing, but it's a track that's very lane sensitive as far as running up off the bottom and then turning to the bottom to get a run off. Very bumpy. Joining me in the booth tonight is Robert Hill Jr. Robert, what are you looking to see out here tonight? A lot of cautions. Will we get a green flag run, you think?
Yeah, Chris, obviously tonight, as you can see on the screen, 150 laps with just three sets of tires, which, they probably will not even come close to using all those sets. They'll likely maybe do one pit stop for tires. I've spoken to a couple people. They're telling me that with the chances of there being so many yellows here tonight, you can probably even save fuel. So you may see somebody try to go the full length of the race here tonight without coming down pit road. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there as qualifying has wrapped up, Chris. We could,
Hey, can I just say something about your
yeah,
graphic? I love it. Not gonna matter. The fuel graphic there was great.
absolutely. I mean, there's no point of even talking about fuel tonight, as these guys are pointing out to us that it really don't matter at all. As we take a look here at the starting grid, Tyler Fody and Jay Kane are going to lead us to green here tonight, Chris.
Yeah, and they tied, and Fody gets the spot there. Then we got Jesse Rasmus, Latham Joyner, Jeff Green, Trevor Weeks, Frankenfield, Stanley, and Garrison Hogue.
Absolutely. Just outside the top 10, Connor Jones, Wyatt Knadel, Michael Klein, good qualifying effort for him. Dustin Dewar, Michael Hossack, Gerald Campbell, Josh Robbins, Scott Crump, Andrew Rucker, and Cody Harrington rounding out the top 20 as the pace car is about to leave pit road here. And this is a good opportunity now for us just to quickly mention, you see a lot of colors here on the screen. You will see that on our scoring tower as well. The guys that are labeled with the green number as Tyler Fody here are locked into the playoffs. The guys in yellow are currently in a playoff spot but not locked in. Guys in red currently still have a shot at the playoffs but are not in a spot right now. And those in white, such as Jeff Green, Connor Jones, they are on the outside with no chance of making it in, as it looks like only one pace lap here, Chris.
There should be two. Yeah, we're gonna get a second one
Yeah,
right
we're
here.
gonna get a second one here. Lights just don't appear to
Real
be on.
quick here, I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors before we go. This is the Mrs. Goodies Grand National Series, and Mrs. Goodies are on Twitter. My Mrs. Goodies is there. It is. Has hooded towels, handmade items for babies, kids, you, and your home, and you can look them up on Facebook today. Everybody at Blue Egg Marketing, they are the marketing department for small business. Brixi Cam, they are a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston. They are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. No race sponsor tonight, so we have 150 laps live from the Nashville Fairgrounds. The pace car is going to pull down here as Fody is going to take control of this race from the bottom. Green is out. Big jump for Fody. Gets down in there all by himself.
Looks
Who's
like
your pick to win tonight? You got a pick real quick?
looks like Jay Kaner just grabbed a piece of the wall there, but yeah, race picks here tonight, three wide back here. A lot of action already.
Oh, we got
Oh,
a wreck.
we got a big
Chad
wreck right there.
Frankenfield, Latham Joyner,
Jeff
Jeff
Green.
Green. Oh, it's big
This
here.
is the
It's a
track that made his career as well, so tough start there.
Dustin Dewars down there.
To be
Michael
fair, at
Hossack.
this point, Chris, just with these guys already wrecking, I don't know if we should still make a race pick, but I go with, this is tough.
Well, while you're doing that, we got
I'm gonna go with
Matthew
Tate
Weeks
Lytle.
involved. We got the 92 involved. The 38. The 11 might be okay. The 34 is going to get a good chunk.
Yeah, let's take a look at that on the Whiskey Cast replay here, Chris. There was a
There's the
lot of
42 and the
action there.
32. The 64 gets a piece. The 90 gets a piece.
Take a look
It's
right
not
here.
as big as I thought.
Yeah, it looks like a three wide just gone bad. Like Jeff came up a little bit across Chad's nose up into, I believe that was Latham Joyner. Connor Jones got a piece. Michael Hossack, Dustin Dewar, Scott Crump. Yeah, Trey Holmes got a really small piece, but honestly, yeah, like you mentioned, not as bad as it initially looked. So, and as you see there from race control, that is a racing incident. No tally has been issued, and we're under caution for the first time here tonight. Lap number 4.
Now you told me we had something. You know, I left TA services out. You wanna do a little surprise here with something we got new for tonight?
Absolutely. We'll go now to our partners at TA Service.
And welcome back. We are still under caution. Still have not gotten to the restart zone. Scott Crump is sitting on pit road here. Still, he's going to lose a lap.
Did Goodman leave already, Chris? If Green stopped there on track.
I don't see where anybody has left.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing Michael Goodman at all.
Did he lag out, possibly?
That's definitely a possibility. Unfortunate if that is the case, but yeah, not not a good start for these guys, Chris. And actually, why don't we take a quick look at the points here while we have the opportunity to, under caution. As you can see, those top 3, R.C. Anderson, Latham Joyner, Tyler Fody, are all locked in, with Scott Crump, David Tooker, Ethan Stanley, Garrison Hogan, Tate Lytle, Gerald Campbell, Vincent Isabella. I don't believe he's actually here tonight, so that could change things up a little bit. Chad Frankenfield, Michael Hossack, Wyatt Knadel, and Jacob Adams, another one not here tonight. They are all currently in a playoff spot. Josh Adams isn't here tonight. He's just on the outside looking in. Trevor Elam, Johnny Thomas, I don't think he's here tonight either. And Andrew Rucker, another one just on the outside looking in. So that could change things up a little bit, especially with those guys not being here. As you see, Jake Kaner and Matthew Weeks there as well. And just taking a quick look at the rookie points. Another little battle here. Latham Joyner has about a 51-point lead over Ethan Stanley. And then actually most of the rest of these guys, actually all of the rest of these guys are not here tonight. And I do stand corrected. Vincent Isabella is in the field.
Yeah, and this is the second to last race of the regular season. If you're close and you only need a few points, you'll want to find them tonight because you don't want to go looking for points at Daytona.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Vincent Isabella was just kind of mixed in the midfield there, so I do apologize to Vince. He is here. He is currently right there as the pace car's about to pull off and get us going here once again, Chris.
Yeah, and I want to point out Harrison and Jeff are one lap down after that wreck. Scott Crump is still in the 2 laps down. Green comes out.
Nice jump by Cody.
Yep, he gets away. Oh, I didn't make my race pick. I'm going to take Tyler Fody.
It's a good
My
pick
teammate.
there.
Yeah, that's my teammate, my car owner. I'll take him and ride that horse. Oh, we are wrecking again.
Michael Klein on the backstretch here. Oh, Josh Personette, Cody Harrington.
No, it's not the 03.
Might have started with Josh.
03.
Josh Personette was in the Harrison Talon. Might have just stopped for them. I'm not too sure. I see Connor Jones was in it as well. Let's take a look here, see what brought out the second yellow here tonight on the Whiskey Cast replay. I just started a little further up than this.
Yeah, it started at Michael Klein. That was the spin car.
Back this up a little bit here, guys. See what happened.
Oh, just a
Looks like he was on the inside of Wyatt Knadel here.
Yeah, Rucker just little tap.
A little tap sent him around, and then there was a couple little domino effect incidents there as well that piled a few more guys in here.
Running into each other. These are the guys that were in the first wreck already. They've already wrecked once. Now they're wrecking again. Well, you told me that fuel number wouldn't matter tonight. You told me that it was going to be a lot of cautions.
Yeah,
I held out
absolutely.
hope, Robert, that we weren't going to have that. But
That's what I was hoping as well, Chris. But unfortunately, doesn't look like that will be the case. We do see somebody just took a wave around there. Might have been Woody Harrington, perhaps?
yeah, that would be the lucky dog.
It was somebody. They just took a wave around, and they're going to be one less lap down. As Tyler Fody continues to lead Jay Kaner, Trevor Elam, Jesse Rasmuth, Ethan Stanley, Matthew Weeks, Garrison Hogan, Wyatt Knadel, Andrew Rucker, Vincent Isabella, the top 10 on lap number 12 here of 150. Caution number 2. As you look at a couple of those guys that were involved in that previous incident, Dustin Dewar doesn't look too bad, a little rear end damage there. Cody Harrington, no rear end. So his is definitely damaged. Latham Joyner. Not seeing too much there. Number 04 car was at fault for that incident. It is appearing as the 03 in the server. That is Michael Klein. So a tally has been issued for that wreck.
Yeah, so I'm not completely dumb because I called out the 03 and I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. But yeah, okay, so it was. So I'm not completely stupid.
Yeah, no, I've seen him as the 03, the 04, the 09, and he's always had the 03 on the side of the car, so it's definitely interesting that
Now, I want to say
the
something
04.
here. I was looking. Scott Crump got one of his laps back right there, by the way, so that means the other one lap down cars were in that wreck some way, shape, or form. But you asked about Michael Goodman, and I don't see, he did not start the race. He did not grid up, nothing.
34, Connor Jones, severe damage penalty ×2. That is an EOL penalty for Connor Jones. We saw him with some issues last week as well, so not a great start to the elite career for Connor Jones as the lights are off and the pace car is off, actually. We're going to get going green once again here, but back to your report on Goodman.
Yeah, he did not grid up. He did not start the race.
That is noted. See Tyler Fody with a great job. Jake Kaner got down there rather quickly. You're hearing that severe damage penalty of Connor Jones actually accelerating into that last incident there. So definitely not a good look whatsoever. See these guys battling pretty good here. It's a kind of a 3-car battle for second here. Jake Kaner looks like he will
we got
get
the 88 around. Oh, we got the 71 involved. He's going to come up and he's going to get caught by some
Marco
others.
Bilas
The
hard on the inside.
The 99.
That is Trey Holmes on the back straightaway. Did a nose damage there. They're still stopped ahead of him here. Harrington just getting rolling again. Take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay. See what happened to Trey Holmes.
Looks like some contact. 88 turns down. The 71 is there.
The 88 of Trey Holmes is at fault as per race control. Tally has been issued for that. You see the 88 here on the outside of David Carpenter. Comes down
Jeff
slightly. Brings out the yellow there. 51. 03 grabs a small piece in that.
That Cody Harrington machine, it looks great every week. But, man, he wrecks every week, I think. I'd be changing that, trying to get some good luck.
Absolutely. The God himself, Harrison Talon, right there involved. Marco Bilas grabbed a piece of that one as well. So, you see Trey Holmes here back in the 19th spot with some damage from that wreck.
Yeah, this is
Chris, I warned you.
Way that we wanted to start this.
I warned you that this one would be a little bit on the messy side. Fortunately, it's just the track. It's a really small, tight track, and these guys try to get a little bit more than they can get, and unfortunately, it does bring out the wrecks and bring out the cautions. And fortunately, we do find ourselves under a third caution, just 19 laps into this race.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take this opportunity. Let's have an interview here with Tyler Fody. Hey, Tyler, this is Chris and Robert up in the booth. Not the way anybody wanted to start this race, but what are you thinking? Got the pool? Congrats on that. You just gonna stay out and never pit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how things are going up here. um, yeah, I don't know. Depends on how long these runs go, but right now we're kind of just chilling, seeing what's gonna take place here.
How's the car driving tonight? We're seeing a lot of guys, getting turned off the corner or losing it off the corner. Is that a problem with the setup, or do you think if we can get 5 or 10 laps, maybe people can get into a rhythm and we see a green run?
I don't know about that. It's loose on exit, and it doesn't seem to get any better as the tires wear, and depending on where your brake bias is at, it could be loose or tight going in. So.
Well, all right, Tyler, thanks for coming up here and talking to us. Good luck. I know you're probably getting one to go right here, but hopefully you can stay out of the trouble and get a solid run tonight as we look ahead to Daytona and the playoffs.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So pretty good race so far for Tyler there, Robert. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we asked Tyler kind of how he's feeling, how the car's feeling, but he hasn't really had the opportunity to drive it too much, Chris. Obviously, these cautions are coming out pretty rapidly in succession of one another, and hopefully he can get a long run. I know Tyler does like those long runs. His pace car's off. We're going to go green once again here. And he gets one of his Tyler Fody signature jumps there.
That was a great jump. That was...
Absolutely.
That was incredible.
Tyler's very good at these restarts, Chris. He knows how to play the timing just right to get that jump. As we can see, Jake Kaner and Trevor Elam behind him here, Jesse Rasmus as well, but Tyler Fody is our leader. Just a quick update, it does appear that Michael Goodman has left pit lane, so he has joined the field. 24 laps down, but Goody has arrived.
Yeah, but you get one car finally out on the track after having some issues on the grid there, couldn't get her started up. And Jeff Green is already loaded up on the hauler and left.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for Jeff Green. Looks like we have a bit of a gaggle back here. It's the best way to describe this. We have multiple cars battling side by side. It's like RC Anderson up here trying to work his way up into the top 10, right behind the 84 white Canadal. So RC doing a nice job. He has some rear end damage there.
Hey, he's lucky that's all he's got. Look where he started. He somehow started 30th and has missed everything.
Yeah, RC was feeling good coming into tonight, so a little surprised that he didn't qualify as well as he would have liked, but that does sometimes happen. We did see it earlier with White Canadal in his qualifying effort. He just got a little loose and unfortunately killed both of his laps, but yeah, RC Anderson doing a nice job up 19 spots so far.
Yeah, and the field's kind of singled out here. We might get to see a little bit of a run.
It does look like that for sure. I mean, there's not really too much side by side or any really all the way back through the field whatsoever. So Tyler Fody enjoying a nice little early race lead, about 2/10 over Jake Kaner and Trevor Elam right there as well. So these guys just out for a little cruise right now.
Yeah, and sometimes when you start at the back, like RC did, like you're still just now inside the top 10, that can open up your strategy box. If they get a caution here in 5 or 10 laps, the leaders probably still aren't going to pit. They might, but you can stay out or pit and do the opposite and get off sequence and try to put yourself at the front of, at some point being the first car on new tires.
Absolutely, and just a moment ago there, I did see Vincent Isabella go for a little bit of a slide off the corner as he's trying to battle around Andrew Rucker. Vincent doing a great job as well. He is in the field, unlike what I said earlier, and he's up 17 spots so far. So Vincent Isabella, another one of those big movers, taking advantage of some early incidents here and working his way up. As you see RC Anderson side by side now with Mike Canadal.
Looks like he will make that pass. Wyatt probably gave him a little bit of a break there, trying to just let him go, knowing he's faster.
Absolutely. Wyatt Canadal kind of knowing when to take a little bit of a rest from battling too hard. These guys side by side, speaking of battling, that's Garrison Hogan and Ethan Stanley battling for the 6th position here. Garrison working that high side, making that move. Ethan Stanley falls back in line, and RC Anderson's making another move here to get past Vincent Isabella, work his way up into the 9th position, make that 21 positions gained from the green flag for RC Anderson.
Yeah, as long as he can keep moving forward, that's all that matters, right?
Absolutely. As we see here, another battle. Dustin Dewar, David Tooker. David Tooker looking to make that pass, and he does on Dustin Dewar, move him up to the 13th spot. Other guy coming from the back there, up 10 spots, as we see Chad Frankenfield looking to the bottom of Jeff Burton, or sorry, that's Gerald Campbell in the 31 machine.
Now listen, we all know Gerald, we like Gerald, but Jeff Burton does not suit the way Gerald drives.
No, definitely not. They don't even have the same personality, that's for sure. We have another battle here side by side. That is R.C. Anderson, Andrew Rucker. But yeah, Gerald Campbell, definitely not a comparable of Jeff Burton.
Yeah, I think Gerald would be better suited with somebody like, I don't know, maybe a Bubba Wallace after what we saw Sunday.
Yeah, Chris, obviously that was a big incident that kind of came out of left field or left hook. It was yeah, but
that was a Gerald type of maneuver, right? Like Gerald, well, I've seen Gerald get wronged and get even. I think Gerald's a guy that if we could get our people out of these race cars and fight after some of these wrecks, Gerald would be more than happy to go throw some hands.
Absolutely. Oh, Trevor Elam comes up across Matthew Weeks' nose.
We got Josh Robin here in the back as well. It looks like he's trying to spin his car out.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to point out, though, Trevor Elam has dropped from 3rd now to 6th. That incident with Matthew Weeks definitely did some damage to that machine, but Trevor was falling. I think he may have cooked his tires a little bit.
Yeah, and that's something that, we talk about Fody doing a great job saving tires. He's stayed about 2-3 car lengths in front of 2nd. And
Robin's
he's probably
running a
not
questionable
working,
line.
probably not working near as hard as the guy in 2nd. Yeah, Robin got sideways, and then it looked like he was trying to spin the car out. Like, I thought he was going to loop it around.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird one here. You see Latham Joyner on the inside of Dustin Dewar. Joyner will clear him here as they set their sights on Wyatt Knadel. Wyatt currently running 13th. R.C. Anderson now side by side with Ethan Stanley. That's battle for 7th. R.C. now up 23 spots from the start. He's
now we're getting ready to get
Trevor.
into lap traffic as well for the leader.
As you can see there, lap car did just go by our camera. Tyler Fody, sorry, is the race leader. Jay Kaner's right there with him though, Chris.
Yeah, but like I was saying just a minute ago, I bet Jay is working way harder to run this pace than Tyler is.
Oh, absolutely. When you get the chance to lead this race, you can kind of set that tone, set the pace. These guys behind you are going to have to cook it quite a bit more. Not 100% sure who that
really
is ahead,
good,
though.
About running just as hard as he needs to.
Absolutely. Take a look out of the nose here of the Tyler Fody machine. You do see the lap car not too far ahead here. I believe that is Joshua Personette. That is JP right there. Getting set to go one lap down here. Josh Robin has come down pit road. As we saw from his earlier incident there, some issues with that number 8 machine. He's hoping to get fixed up here. But it'll be interesting to see how guys like Fody, like Kane or Rasmus, and the like, as Rasmus got a piece of the ball there, as these guys work their way through the lap traffic, if that lap traffic will cause any sort of disruption to the flow of this race.
Oh, it'll cause a little disruption depending on how bad the guy wants to race you, how much he wants to race you. You just got to be patient as the leader and make sure you do it right. This 18 is already a lap down or multiple laps down. I'm not sure if he's just one or more. Oh, that was actually the first lap he lost.
Yeah, so he is only one lap down as we see Josh Personette falling a little bit through the field here. He was also having a bit of a blinking issue, so that will come into play as well. Now Matthew Weeks and Garrison Hogan, as they're battling for the 4th spot, work their way by Joshua Personette in the number 18 machine, who's holding a nice line on the high side, staying out of the way of the leaders.
Josh Robin has loaded up and is headed home. I believe he broke a transmission.
He broke something, that's for sure. We take another look here. Looks like we're coming up on a bunch of lap traffic here, Chris, I can see Harrison Talon out the window here, Dave Carpenter, Connor Jones. It's like Cody Harrington as well, Mark Rabilas. So this will get interesting as we go through a pack of lap cars here, because not everyone is going to hold that same line.
Yeah, and not everybody's going to let you go, but some will. Some will get out of your way, and some are going to say, let's race, you know, I want to stay in front of you, you're the leader. So it kind of just depends on the mentality of the people he's catching.
Absolutely. It really depends on the driver as well. Some will show more respect to the leaders. Some will just try to run the race, because you got to remember these guys are also battling for their own positions. So at the end of the day, the leaders do have to try to get around them without much issue, but...
And in my opinion, if you're just if you're on the tail of the lead lap, or if you're one lap down, you're probably going to run pretty hard. I would.
Oh, for
sure. I would run
sure.
really hard, because if you lose a second lap, you're not getting that back, probably.
Absolutely. As we do see just ahead of the leaders, there is a side-by-side battle between a couple lap cars here. Go up to our blimp cam here, the Elite Racing Network blimp cam. This is fully funded out of Chad Frankenfield's pocket for the blimp. As you do see those lap cars right ahead, beginning with Cody Harrington. This is where it'll get interesting, as Tyler Fody will have to work his way through as these guys continue to battle.
But he didn't spend too much money on this blimp, did he? Like, he made it with leftover pieces of the Hindenburg, right?
Yeah, I mean, he called up that balloon boy that was on CNN a few years back that they thought was in the balloon, and just borrowed that. Tied Dave Huckleberry to it with a camera, so we definitely gotta hope that he stays up in that balloon and doesn't fall out. But you see Jay Kaner working to the inside of Cody Harrington here, as Tyler Fody is coming up on Mark Rabilas and Connor Jones, and these guys are battling. Look at this.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a battle.
If I'm Fody right here, I'm a little spooked.
Nah, Fody doesn't get spooked. He'll be alright.
These guys are getting close here. Fody's going to work to the outside of Rabilas. Connor Jones gets... Oh, the leader's wrecked.
Oh, and we have a wreck. And that's just it right there. These lap cars trying to stay on the lead lap, and it's cost Fody the race. And Jay
Kaner, Tyler Fody. Jay's done. He's blowing up. Tyler Fody, heavy damage on that machine. Little bit of contact. Connor Jones and Mark Rabilas up there ends chances, most likely, of these guys. But we'll take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay. We did see it live from the Huckleberry blimp, but we'll take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, I believe that's going to start with the 34 once again. I would think that this guy, you know, of all people, this guy would try to be earning respect out here, as many people as he's frustrated over the last few weeks.
As you can see, Connor Jones drives it up into that outside wall. Tyler Fody tries to avoid it, comes down into Jay Kaner. These two just end up going for a ride, as you will see in just a moment here. The 34, Connor Jones, is at fault, and a tally has been issued. It's the second time he's made it onto a sheet tonight. I believe it's his first tally, but he does have a severe damage penalty. And just to point out, the only car to stay on track here, Chris, Jesse Rasmus. Actually, Cody Harrington has as well. Jesse is going to take his lap lead and come down pit road. Kind of question that a little bit, Chris, but just under 100 laps to go, he can still make it happen. Race leader will actually still be Tyler Fody.
Yeah, but I don't think... I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's now in the clutches of the Pro Edge group of Garrison Hogan, Matthew Weeks, R.C. Anderson, David Tooker, Kate Lytle, all right behind him here. And they all have pretty much damage-free cars, but this is caution number 4 on lap 58 here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, we have 150 laps tonight from Nashville. We have Daytona next week, and then the playoffs start. And this is the 2022B Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series. Mrs. Goody's has hooded towels, handmade items for babies, kids, you and your home, and you can look them up on Facebook today. Everybody at Blue Egg Marketing They help businesses punch above their weight class, and everybody at Brixi Cam. Brixi is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston, and they are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. And of course, none of this happens without all the wonderful people at the Elite Racing Network. Chad for all the leagues he runs. Of course, you for being here tonight, Robert. And David Huckleberry, he helps make Elite Racing Network go round and keeps us looking good here for you guys with these wonderful graphics and everything else he does. We have an issue. Dave is right there, Johnny on the spot to help us fix it.
Absolutely. And while we are under caution here, Chris, for the 4th time, let's send it back to our friends at TA Services for a little message from them.
And welcome back after that commercial break. We're just getting ready to go green. Jay Canor has left too much damage for that machine as Tyler Fody brings us around to the green. Green flag is out, and that car is down power. As we could tell already, that car's down quite a bit of power.
Absolutely. We do have to give Fody credit for trying to stick it out. Just a quick note from race control there, as you saw on screen, 32 of Dustin Dewar has been given an in-race EOL. Not sure the reason for that, Chris, but he had been sent to the back on the restart here.
I'm going to tell you this, we got some contact out here. The 15 got into the 83. The 83 came back at the 15, and they are still side by side.
When you say those two names, that does not surprise me, as two guys having contact with one another, Chris. That's not the first time and far from the last, as Vincent Isabella and Chad Frankenfield had made a bit of contact there. And the EOL for the 32 was due to caution contact with the 64 of Andrew Rucker here. As you see Chad making a move back on the inside.
Yeah, gonna try to do it clean now, right?
No.
Now, one thing I want to keep an eye on here is it's still probably a few laps from happening, but Tyler Fody's pace is way off. He and the 34 are going to come back together again.
Yeah, as you see Tyler Fody now getting passed by Mike Hossack and Dustin Dewar. We previously mentioned him as getting an EOL. Those guys are looking to make a pass on him here. Just 3 wide, just about behind there. Ethan Stanley almost ended up around.
Do you think we will see Fody do anything to that 34?
No.
He's a bigger man than me, because if somebody just took me out of the lead like that when I was dominating the race, I'm going to put both of us on the track.
I honestly, I think Tyler has too much. So I am hearing from our in-race controllers here that the issue with the 32 getting into the 64 was caused by Dustin Dewar's dog.
Man,
that is a new one.
Sometimes you get that dog up there trying to work the pedals and just tap it.
That is the new one for me, and I absolutely love it. But no, back to the Tyler Fody thing. I don't see Tyler going out there to cause any sort of an incident. I think he's too classy of a driver to do that.
Hey, didn't you see how he tried to win a championship a couple seasons back?
No, I wasn't here a few seasons back, Chris, but I think Tyler will race with respect, especially knowing that he is going into the playoffs as one of the leading contenders for the championship. I think he's going to try to keep as many friends as he can to avoid any such drama as he heads into the playoffs.
Well, I am rooting for more contact as these two are getting ready to come back together. Like, I'm not even watching the rest of the race. I'm just watching as Cody is getting swallowed up by another car, and eventually that, we're what, 3 cars away from it being the 34?
Yeah, absolutely. 2 cars now just marked by the separated two of them. These two here, Jeff Frankenfield, Vincent Isabella, are battling side by side. things might get a little tight between these two as well.
Looks like Chad is going to make this pass. Maybe
Just
Vincent even cuts him a little
barely.
break there.
I think Vincent did cut him a little break. Go back to the Fody battle here. There's now Cody Harrington between them as well. I don't know that Connor Jones can actually catch Tyler Fody here. Actually, speaking of Jones, it's coming down pit lane.
Maybe he didn't want to catch Fody right
Looks
there.
like he just parked. Connor Jones took a toe. Garrison Hogan now
Tyler
to the
Fody's
rear
going to
end.
say that's about 25 or 30 laps too late.
Absolutely, Garrison Hogan looking to the inside of our race leader, Matthew Weeks, as they're coming up on the back of Harrison Talon. So that will throw a little bit of a wrench into Garrison's plans to make that pass on Weeks, but not too far ahead. You can see some lap cars here, not lucky cars.
Yeah, they are not lucky at all.
Not too lucky. It looks like that is Michael Goodman, who is the exact opposite of lucky here.
We're down to just 20 cars here in the lead lap.
20 cars on the lead lap. The last car on that lead lap is Michael Klein, who's not overly far ahead of our race leaders here. And if it does stay green, that number will definitely dwindle down further and further. But I do wonder, will Tyler Fody remain on the lead lap?
Man, with the pace that car doesn't have, at some point he's probably getting lapped.
Most definitely, unless we do get a few cautions, give him a chance to get that fixed up, which I'm sure he's hoping for.
Actually, you know what? To be honest, this long green red flag run is probably better for that car. I don't think that car's probably got 8 or 12 minutes of damage. You're not going to get that fixed. A long green flag run, these guys will be braking later, or earlier, excuse me, and being able to get on the gas later. So the longer we go, the less of a deficit he is going to have.
Yeah, no, you're actually right on that, Chris. Obviously, as we do see Tyler Fody here just ahead of Mark Robilas. The longer he has, I guess the better it would be for him. Matthew Weeks does continue to lead, but as I mentioned, they're coming up on the lap car of Michael, or actually currently the lead lap car of Michael Klein, who will remain on the bottom here.
And how many of these cars in the top 5 are associated with Pro Edge?
All 5.
That's what I was thinking.
Matthew Weeks is a Pro Edge driver. Garrison Hogan is actually a private driver in here, but he is affiliated with Pro Edge. He is one of my owners in the Cup Series. R.C. Anderson drives for Pro Edge. Tate Lytle drives for 21 Savage in this series, which he co-owns with Garrison Hogan. He's also a Pro Edge driver. And David Tooker, another Pro Edge driver. So this is another great performance by Pro Edge. I mean, last night the team led almost all the laps in the Truck Series race amongst 5 drivers. So this team is getting hot. Or I guess staying hot, because they've won a lot of races this year.
Yeah, and it's Matthew Weeks.
Garrison Hogan to the bottom.
Garrison's going to go look for a lead.
I don't believe Matthew Weeks actually has any victories. He is not currently locked in. He's not currently in a playoff spot, actually. As you see, he is marked with red.
Just about make contact.
That got close. As you can see, Matthew Weeks is marked with red, indicating that he is still alive in the playoff hunt. He is not completely locked in. So that will get interesting as this race goes on and as the season goes on. But Garrison Hogan and Matthew Weeks nearly made contact there, as you mentioned, Chris.
And Garrison was able to hold off for second there. Yeah, Tyler Fody is not losing near the time he was the first 5-10 laps at this point. He's still running slower than these guys, but it's not like it was. As a matter of fact, the pace he's got right now, he probably could drive back up towards the top 10 without another yellow. If it stays green, I think he could drive back up towards the top 10.
Yeah, which definitely could be a nice thing for Tyler Fody for sure. I mean, obviously at this point he is locked into the playoffs, so it's not a huge deal to have a bit of an off night, of course. Obviously you want as many wins as you can, as many good finishes as you can, just to have momentum going into the playoffs. But see Garrison get a little slideways there behind Matthew Weeks. But Tyler Fode's just going to try to hold on, get as many points as he can just to try to keep his momentum going as we head towards those playoffs. Let's see Matthew Weeks here on board.
It's going to be very, very interesting with what happens here the rest of this race. We've got about 60 laps to go, just north of 60 to go here.
63 laps remaining in this event. They are coming up on the back of Joshua Personette. Should get him in just a moment here.
And they've got
18
Scott
machine.
Crump, but Scott took the wave around, so he doesn't have tires.
One thing I do want to point out, though, here, Chris, is Scott Crump and Matthew Weeks do have history. These two guys have a lot of bad blood between them, and that could make things a little questionable here as Matthew Weeks is the race leader. Oh, contact there.
I'm not going to say he'll wreck him, but there is no doubt in my mind
Scott's going to make it tough. He's going to make it tough.
And
that's
he should.
How Scott is.
He has the
Absolutely.
right to. He should. He lost 4 laps because of the first wreck. He's got 2 of them back, and the last one he got by taking a wave around when all these guys pitted. So he needs a caution right now would, give him some new life here to try to go and get another lap back.
Absolutely, as you do see Scott Crump just ahead of our race leaders here. I believe next ahead of him may be Cody Harrington in the 66 car. I do believe that is correct. And then you see Marco Bilas and maybe here there, but Matthew Weeks in the lead currently coming up on what may be known as his nemesis, Scott Crump. Just a moment here. Things could get hairy.
And if Scott got a caution right now, he probably wouldn't pit here. I think we went far enough, everybody would pit. Scott would be able to stay out, take a wave around, and go to 1 down and just make one. Like, that's what you would have to do if you're Scott here at this point. Is if everybody pits, take that opportunity to go ahead and get one of the laps. So really, he could be looking at making up 2 full laps if he catches a caution right now before he gets past.
Absolutely. And Scott's just got to keep digging here as you see Garrison Hogan now going to the outside of Matthew Weeks here. Garrison getting a little sideways once again. That car's upset every time he goes through the lead.
Yeah, he's trying to pull out surprise Weeks, and right there he probably surprised him a little bit. Now Weeks is going to defend that top. I think Weeks is okay if he gets to the bottom, but Weeks does not want to let him get to his outside, because if he gets to his outside, Weeks is going to lose this whole... See, Weeks runs a little higher. It says, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it on the bottom, where everybody in this line's not. Oh, Garrison's sideways. Still sideways. Wow.
Still trying to save it here. Kate Lytle jumps up to 3rd now.
Yeah, Garrison just gave up all those spots.
That gives Weeks a little bit of a jump here, a little bit of an edge over the pro edge because R.C. Anderson now almost 3/10 behind him here. Nice little bit of a lead for Matthew Weeks as he's going to come up on these lap cars here. RC's going to want that lead rather quickly, though, as RC is a very strong competitor in everything that he drives. Marco Bilas a little bit upset on the track there.
Yeah, I think RC is going to be a little bit smoother about making this pass. I think he probably feels like he might be able to do it on the bottom. I mean, he's got some pretty good drive right now. Going to get into some lap traffic.
Chris, not long ago we saw side-by-side lap car battling in front of our race leaders that ended up with Tyler Fode and Jay Kaner both heavily damaged. And that's what we're seeing once again just ahead of Matthew Weeks and R.C. Anderson. So things may get interesting here.
Yeah, but I don't think this is good for Scott Crump, because if Scott can't make this pass, he's going to be easy to pass. But I think he's going to make the pass.
Mark not really letting up at all. He's trying to stay there, but Matthew Weeks will get by. Scott Crump cleared him. R.C. Anderson now side by side with Marco Bilas.
If I'm Scott right here, I'm going to race these guys. I'm going to run the top. I'm going to run that second lane. I'm going to make sure that if they pass me, they go to the bottom to do it.
Caution
and we've
flags
got
out.
a yellow. It is the 42 here on the back stretch.
That is exactly what Scott Crump needed there.
Oh, contact from the 64. Turns the 42.
Let's take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay, Chris, see what happened. Bring us under caution with 51 laps remaining here in the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway 150. Michael Hossack on the outside in the 42. Andrew Rucker on the inside in the 64. Rucker just comes up and gets into the left rear of Hossack. Sends him into the inside wall.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I think everybody should pit here. And if everyone does pit here, if I'm Scott Crump, he's been out here for 100 laps on his tires. If I am Scott, I'm going to stay out again and try
That
to
is
get
a
back to
tally on Andrew Rucker. Only cars currently on track is actually just our lap cars currently. Everyone has come down pit road. We will see who wins that battle off pit road to set us up for the final 50 laps of this event.
Let's watch these lap cars here too. I want to see who stays out. I think if you want a shot to win and you're more than one lap down, you got to stay out here and take a wave again.
Like Cody Harrington will take a wave around. Trevor Ulam.
Scott Crump.
Scott Crump as well, and I think that is just about it. Parker Bilas had stayed on track. I do believe he led one lap process there, but yeah, as we mentioned, that was a tally on the 64 car of Andrew Rucker to bring out the yellow here. Caution 5. Current race leader RC Anderson with Tate Lytle now in second. Matthew Weeks falls back to third with David Tooker fourth, Latham Joyner in fifth, Harrison Hogan sixth, Chad Frankfield seventh, Vincent Isabella eighth, Wyatt Canadal ninth, and Jesse Rasmus now in the 10th position. And just outside the top 10, we have Gerald Campbell, Andrew Rucker, Ethan Stanley, Ray Holmes, Dustin Durs coming down pit road, Dave Carpenter, Michael Hossack, Mark Verbilis, Trevor Elam, and Cody Harrington rounding out the top 20. I do believe the only car still running, Michael Klein, Harrison Talon, Tyler Fody now in 23rd, Scott Crump gonna take away round.
And those are the one lap down cars right there. Scott Crump,
Josh
Harrison,
Personette,
Fody, Klein.
Goodman's also on track. He missed the start of the race. He's just doing whatever he can to get some spots. Out of the race, Connor Jones, Jake Hayner, Josh Robin, and Jeff Green. And our lap down cars are going to take the wave around and get one lap back.
Yeah, it's what I'm gonna tell you. Scott Crump has got a shot to get back into this and get a top 10 if we get a quick yellow right here.
Realistically, Chris, looking at his car, it does not look bad whatsoever. So Scott should be just fine to be competitive.
But he's going to be the slowest car out here right now. He's got over 100 laps on tires. As RC does have the leader. Green is out. Pretty good jump for RC. The battle's going to be for second. Matthew knows he needs to win, but you're not going to get your teammates to let you win.
Absolutely not. You see Matthew Weeks there in third, chasing down Tate Lytle. Tate's currently in a playoff spot. RC's currently locked in. So Matthew's the one that really needs to make this work here tonight.
Oh, the 64 is around. Nope, no caution. He's going to save it up there by the wall.
Yeah, Andrew Rucker with a bit of an incident there. He's going to fall back in line now, back in the 19th spot.
Oh. I'm really surprised with how sideways he was.
That just got close with Vincent Isabella and Latham Joyner in the back there. It was a battle for second. See back up front, it is RC Anderson. He's up 29 spots from his starting spot of 30th. 19. David Tooker there in 4th. He's up 19th as well, or 19 spots as well. So these guys are working here tonight, absolutely.
Yep, we had a lot of green flag racing here in the last, since about, since Fody got crashed.
Absolutely. It was a great run here as we do see a side-by-side battle for 9th. Jesse Rasmus and Wyatt Canadal here. That is the 70 and the 84 machine. Wyatt on the high side, Jesse on the bottom. These guys are racing real tight with Jeff Burton just behind them there. Looking to jump into this battle as well.
it's strung out really quick up here at the front. Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah,
The Pro Edge drivers are all in line.
the first real battle is that Canadal and Rasmus battle. It's actually one of the only battles in the field, as everyone else, for the most part, has strung out. Just taking a look a little further back, giving you an update on Tyler Fody. Go ahead and find him back here, 23rd, just ahead of Marco Bilas. He did get a little bit of damage fixed on that last caution, set him back just a little bit further, but sometimes you have to sacrifice to get some stuff fixed up.
Yeah, he sacrificed the lap to get it fixed up.
Because this battle is on between RC and Tate here. Just 0.2 of a second separating these two. Tate's hungry for another victory here. He's been on a roll lately. And he wants to do it again. Winner last night at Rockingham, wanting to do it again in another one of the classic tracks here of Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and he's got the pace to do it if he can just get there.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to pass RC, you need to do it now. Force him to pass you back later. Try to get control of this race.
See, the one thing is here, Chris, as we are only 35 laps remaining in the event, the later they go, if we get a caution with like 10, 15 laps to go, chances are that's going to trigger an effect of caution after caution. Because time's running out, guys are going to step up the intensity and want to go. And that's usually how it goes. Cautions will breed cautions at the end of this thing, and you really have to make your move if you want a chance at this.
Why do you want to jinx these races for us?
Not jinxing, Chris, just being realistic.
A caution at any point now, though, people would come and get tires. People would, like, it would be a split strategy at this point.
Absolutely. You will see guys a little further back try something a bit different. You might see guys like RC in the front.
Ooh,
Thinking the track position's a little bit more important right now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens should we get a caution.
Oh, we've got the 70 spinning around here in 3 and 4.
He spins onto pit road, so that will not bring out a caution there. Take a quick look on the Whiskey Cast replay, though, see what happened.
Oh, and we have a caution.
Yeah, absolutely, because he looks like he did come back up onto the track. See Jesse Rasmus in the 70 here coming towards the 84 White Canadal.
I think he was just trying to turn it around, and he did not go on the track on purpose. Like, he did not.
Jesse actually gets in the back of Wyatt. Wyatt, I think, does a great job saving. Yeah, he does. Contact with Gerald Campbell, Trey Holmes, I believe. And then we'll take a look and see what actually brought out the caution.
That was actually a good job by Jesse. That should not have triggered a caution. He was just flipping it around.
I think it's just because he was
you know
sideways.
what? No, the caution was the caution was Tyler Fody.
Oh.
That was not the caution.
Well, we apologize to you, Jesse. Take a look here at the Fody machine. That is the number 40 right ahead of Trevor Elam in the 29.
Just it gets into him.
Oh, gets in him is more like it, as that will bring out the caution. What a bad night for Tyler Fody. We are hearing reports from our administrative team that Tate Lytle is feeling some motivation from channeling his inner Cal Naughton Jr., which you can find over on the Elite Racing Twitter page. We won't talk too much about that, but Tate...
Hey, we had pit stops here.
We did have pit stops. R.C. Anderson, our current race leader, Matthew
Did
Weeks,
not
David
stop.
Tooker, I believe they all stayed out. Latham Joyner, Vincent Isabella, White Canadal, Trey Holmes all stayed out. Michael Hossack up into 8th now. Marco Bilas in 9th. Looks like Garrison was the first one to pit. We'll find him back in 10th on this restart. Tate Lytle, Chad Frankenfield, Michael Klein, Gerald Campbell, Ethan Stanley, Dave Carpenter, Dustin Dewar, Andrew Rucker, Trevor Elam, Cody Harrington, top 20 on this restart.
Hey,
so
and
that was
to put a head
interesting.
on Garrison there, that is 2 tires. He was the only car that pitted that took 2. Tate Lytle and everyone on back behind him took 4.
So that'll definitely be interesting to see how Garrison gets through the field. Garrison is rather strong, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
I don't think it makes sense to do 2. I think I think when you saw cars down the track take 4, if he would have taken lefts, he would have lost 1 spot to Tate. Like, him and Tate would be flipped. Like, I don't... Taking 2 there does not really make a whole lot of sense.
So that call by race control is the 70 of Jesse Rasmus and the 84 of White Canado, both with racing incidents. No tallies have been issued on that caution.
Yeah, and we still have 20 drivers on the lead lap. Cody Harrington is 20th on the lead lap. I believe the 51 got the lucky dog. No, the 51 didn't get the lucky dog. Was there no lucky dog? Or is I think the 51 gave
I
up.
do apologize. Tally has been issued to Trevor Elam.
Okay, the 51 got the lucky dog, and he gave up the lap. So as we restart here, Scott Crump is in the lucky dog spot. As we get ready to go green here with RC in control. Green is out. Great jump for RC. Weeks is going to try to hang on his outside. Can't quite do it. 3 wide back in the pack. Oh, we got contact. The 84's around. The 4's around. The 92, the 31. The 4's hit again. We got a big wreck down here.
We are under caution. Let's take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay. Looks like it may have started around Wyatt Canadle in the 84. There might have been multiple incidents here. See Canadle in that 84 machine on the outside of the 83. Vincent Isabella.
Oh, just contact from the 83.
Tagged by the 83.
The 4
and
loses
that'll
it.
Trigger big wreck further back. Stanley, Michael Hossack, Jeff Burton, Dave Carpenter, Andrew Rucker does a nice job getting through there. Got Crump as well. Fody goes down pit road. That was a big one there, Chris.
Yes, it was.
Fortunate for Wyatt. He was having a pretty good run there. He's going to fall back now. Pit road. See if he can get that thing fixed up.
All right, so now I want to update everybody on what the situation is, okay? 1st through 5th have not been on pit road. They've got about 30 green flag laps on their tires or so, right in that neighborhood, 20, 25, 30. Chad Frankenfield got 4 tires. Hossack Hossack is pitted this time. So Chad is going to restart 6th on 4 tires. Tate is on 4 tires in 7th. Then you got a mixed bag of guys who pitted, who stayed out. Behind them, some guys who they already worked through. Scott Crump got the lucky dog right here. So he is going to have about 20 laps to work his way up towards the top 10. I think that covers everything that we've got going on right now. Did it not?
I do believe so, Chris.
I have to think the winner is coming from row 3. New tires, I think, are going to be pretty big here.
So, Liz, we do see Tate Lytle back here in the 7th position. He does have fresh tires. He's going to work his way up through as we do see him channeling his inner Cal Naughton there on screen. See what Tate can do to work his way up through this thing, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do. Well, we do have a chance, Chris. Why don't we give a quick shout out to our presenting sponsors once again before we go green? Actually, we are 1 to green, so we'll wait and see if we get another caution.
Wait till the next caution.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm saying the winner's coming from row 3 on back somewhere. I don't think that.
I think you're right, Chris.
Tires are gonna be better to have here.
I think you're right.
The leader did pick the bottom. We'll see what that does as they come through 3 and 4. Pace car's off. RC is in control. Green is out. pretty good start at the front. Chad Frankenfield is going to get into the top 5 as they come off of 2. The 83 will not be able to do anything on his old tires. Tate Lytle's going to take him 3 wide. He knows he's got to stay with Chad. He knows Chad is on 4, and he has got to stay with him to be able to race him.
This is definitely action-packed back here.
Oh, Chad's losing it.
Chad's around.
The 31, the 83, the 64.
Oh, 83 up in the air.
Be big.
Marco Bilas goes around.
The 99's around.
Vincent in reverse. Mark backs into Chad. That was another Chad ton of cars back there that got wrecked. Vincent.
Chad
that was close.
Chad just lost it.
Let's take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay here, Chris, see what happened once again.
The 83 gets big air.
15 does have a tally issued.
I want you to look at that 83. I mean, getting big air at 70 miles an hour.
See, Chad loses it up here.
That
and
gets
just domino
Rucker
effects.
And
Campbell
Gerald
gets a piece of that, which sends him up into Vincent. Oh! Vincent Isabella getting his pilot's license there. Rucker, Campbell into it again. Vincent just in reverse, I think, at this point, just backing down the track. Bilas ends up in this thing. Rasimus, let's back that up. I gotta see how Jesse got involved in this thing. Does Rasmus just drive into this, Chris? He drives into Trey Holmes.
Oh, and then the 88 spins the 99. No, that's all right. That first contact was accident. Oh, and then see, that's where Chad should probably check up. That car's there first. He's moving to the left, rolling to get around him. He probably doesn't see Chad coming, and Chad sees him. Like, if you're Chad, you got to see that.
Absolutely, Chris. And we are under our 8th caution here tonight. This is a good opportunity now to give us another quick word on our premier partners here at the Elite Racing Network.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, this is the 2022B Mrs. Goodies Grand National Series. At Mrs. Goodies has hooded towels and handmade items for babies, kids, you, and your home, and you can look them up on Facebook today. Blue Egg Marketing, they're your marketing department. And Brixi Cam. Brixi Cam is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston, and they're on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. And I believe we will cut away for 30 seconds right here for a TA Services. And welcome back. As you see, RC still the leader.
And just a quick note from Race Control, the 83 Vincent Isabella has been given a severe damage penalty, EOL, for driving backwards under the caution. And just quickly to touch base on the drivers in the top 10 as we come to green here, we will take a quick look. RC Anderson currently leads Matthew Weeks. David Tooker in 3rd, Latham Joyner 4th, Ethan Stanley 5th. And rounding up the 3rd row here is Tate Lytle in the 6th position.
Tires right there.
Absolutely. Cal Naughton Jr. there in 6th. Pace cars off. RC Anderson on the
Oh, terrible. Oh, they're wrecking right here on the restart.
Oh, Trey. Oh! That was a big impact for Trey Holmes there. Jesse Rasmus takes out the pace car.
That all started with the 11. Something happened to the 11 on the initial go there. I don't know if he missed a shift or what, but he gets hit by the 03.
Let's back that up here.
Then the 03 and the 93. Tate Lytle got a piece of that wreck there as well.
Oh, the 90. Oh, the 92 gets turned there. Latham gets a big hit, and then it comes back here to Trey Holmes. We'll back that up so you can see what happened to Holmes. He took a major impact there.
Yeah, that all started. Something happened to Matthew Weeks on the restart.
Yeah, it looked like he just didn't get going, Chris.
I think he spun the tires. I think if we ride on board and you can hear it, I'm pretty sure that he spun the tires because that car was gone and then it just wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take another look here. We can go back to that green flag here. Ride on board with Matthew Weeks. We'll back it up just a little bit further.
I don't know if he started to lose traction.
Yeah, I think so. You could kind of hear a wheel hop there when he went.
Yeah, he went and then he got off of it and got back on it, but by that point it was already stacking up behind him.
Absolutely. So we will see what happens here.
No tally, I don't think.
No tally. Netcode racing incident. No tally has been issued as per race control. 10 laps to go. We have a couple new faces up here in the top 10. So we'll take a look once again. RC Anderson, currently your race leader for Pro Edge Racing. David Tooker, his Pro Edge teammate, in second. Matthew Weeks, their teammate as well, they're in third. Andrew Rucker doing a really nice job here tonight. Chris up in fourth. He's been in a few incidents, but doesn't matter. He's where he needs to be at the end of this thing, and he's in fourth. Hey, Lytle there with some front end damage. He's in fifth place.
Look at that. That is one sexy picture. Can we pull that graphic back up? Look at Tate there.
Absolutely.
If there is any single women out there watching this broadcast, right there is what you need.
Absolutely. Give him a call. Tate, his preferred genre of companion is teachers. So if you're a teacher, give Tate Lytle a call. Just behind him here, David Carpenter for Three Pedal Mafia. Seventh place, we have Trevor Elam. Michael Klein there in eighth. Good job by Michael Klein. We saw him in an earlier incident. He's up in eighth, taking advantage of some other people's misfortune. Trevor Elam there. Ethan Stanley in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 currently, Garrison Hogan.
I got a question for you about Tate. You think he wears that whenever he sits down to race?
I think he wears it every day. I think he wears it every day. Tate is a teacher. I think he wears that to class.
I mean, I would. You know, I would wear that.
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout out to Scott Crump here too, up to 15. What a run for Scott today. Coming back 4 laps down. As the leader has control with RC on the bottom. Tate's the first car on 4 tires. RC's gone on the pedal. Gets a great jump. Much cleaner start this time.
3 wide back here.
Tate Lytle gets into the fourth. That's going to put him in the second row for the next caution.
A little bit of contact there. Trevor Elam.
There is a next caution.
Trevor Elam, Andrew Rucker made a bit of contact there. Trevor will clear up into the 5th spot. Andrew Rucker going to battle back behind him. Side by side, Dave Carpenter and Ethan Stanley, as well as Garrison Hogan and Jeff Burton. We're going to be 3 wide once again here.
5 to go here at the line.
Back up front, it is.
We got a yellow.
RC Anderson. Vincent Isabella has brought out our latest caution here. Take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay. See what happened to bring out our, I believe it's our 10th caution of the evening.
Looks like he clips the yellow line, gets loose, then the 03 gets into him, and then he's on around.
83, like you mentioned, yeah, just clips the yellow line and around he go. I don't even think the 03 actually touched him, Chris.
But Vincent continues on. Sorry, you said my name there. Did you ask me a question?
No, I said I don't think the 03 actually touched him.
I think so. Even if it might have been netcode, but you can see that car get certain sideways, and then it just jumped the rest of the way. He felt some contact, whether there was actual contact or netcode.
Oh yeah, that was definitely netcode there. The 83 has been given a tally for that incident, and he has retired from the event, or is going to retire from the event.
Scott Crump, sitting 12th.
Yeah, Scott doing a nice job here, just outside the top 10 with Dustin Dewar as well. Dave Carpenter holding his own up in 8th. Good job by him for sure. White Canadal, Chad Frankenfield battling back from their incidents. Michael Klein, despite falling out of the top 10 on that last restart, doing a really nice job running top 15 here tonight. So good job by him. Like we mentioned, Vincent Isabella.
We are into green-white checkers now as well.
Absolutely. We were told Vincent was parking, but he is still on track, so we'll follow the developments of that. It is possible maybe he's appealing a tally or something along those lines to just finish out the event. See what happens there. We should be coming to 1 to green this time by Chris.
Well, I don't know if anybody can pass RC, but I sure do want to see Tate get up there and try to do something. And will Matthew Weeks, even though they're teammates, would he be willing to move RC, you think?
Knowing that Matthew Weeks does have to get a victory here, I think he's going to do whatever he can to do it. I know he doesn't like to race his teammates dirty or potentially cause any sort of an incident. As we just found out from race control, the 83 of Vincent Isabella is appealing his first incident, which will be reviewed after the race. So Vincent will get to continue on, but if it is found that he is at fault from that first tally, he will be reverted to the rear of the field.
Yeah, I've seen that first incident, and if I had a way to communicate with him, I would tell him to take the penalty. I don't think that incident is going to get overturned.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what the administrative team says. Yeah, as I'm hearing here, if he is at fault for the first incident, because he appealed, he will be scored in the 30th position, moving everyone else up 1 spot that has already retired. So RC Anderson's going to lead us to green, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be... We only use on this green-white checkered, right? We're not getting another caution?
Sure.
RC's on the loud pedal. Gets away. Great big jump for RC there as well.
Absolutely. You see Matthew Weeks behind here, trying to get past David Tooker, but I think he may fall a little bit further back. RC coming into turn number 3, off 4 this time to take the white flag.
We're going to get the white here. Nobody's close enough to do anything with RC, though.
Next flag will end this race. I just want to point out quickly, Latham is around. Scott Crump is in the top 10 right now. Hell of a drive by Crump.
Out of 4, RC, Tooker, Tate, 1, 2, 3.
Matthew Weeks in 4th and Trevor Elam in 5th.
P9 for Scott. What a recovery for Scott Crump.
Harrison Hogan in 8th. Scott Crump 9th. Chad Frankenfield 10th. Gerald Campbell in 11th. Wyatt Canadal in 12th here. Dustin Dewar, Michael Klein in 14th. Hell of a drive by Klein. Good job for him. Jesse Rasmus 15th. Carpenter 16th. Latham 17th. Hossack 18th. Harrington 19th. And as of right now, Vincent Isabella in the 20th spot. As we mentioned, that is subject to change as we see RC Anderson burning it down.
Yeah, I wish that somebody would have told Vincent, like, hey, I saw that wreck. I wouldn't appeal this. But what's done is done. They are talking about, they're looking at the finish of the race here as we wrap up and talking about some incidents and whatnot, but all clear on the front 3. Whenever they get here, I am ready to go.
Absolutely, and we do actually have our 3rd place finisher here and ready for his interview. If you want to go ahead and pull him up into the booth here, Chris, we can have a chat with Tate Lytle.
Let's do it to it. All right, we are now joined by Tate Lytle. Tate, coming up here once again on the top 3. Take us through your night. You pitted there, got fresh tires. I thought that was going to be a winning call, but we just, we saw what this race became there the last 30 laps.
Yeah. I don't know if I knew it probably wasn't going to be a winning call, but winning last week kind of opened up, some opportunities for me to take some chances and try and get it there. I mean, I wasn't gonna beat RC there on equal tires. It was so hard to pass, and he was a little better than I was anyway. So trying to do something different. I figured if it went green, we might have a chance. I knew it probably wasn't going to, but it was probably my only chance to win, and we kind of luckily missed most of the calamity and still got a podium out of it.
Yeah, obviously, Tate, we saw you take a pit stop there just past midway in the race when pretty much everyone else in the top 10 stayed out. What went into the decision-making process for that? And obviously, were you a little bit worried when you saw everyone else staying out?
When was that?
Uh,
Sorry.
Around lap
Like
100?
the last one?
Lap 100, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure how many. I figured most people had damage, so they'd come in and fix it, so I'd still come out kind of where I did, which was 12th or so. We got stuck on the bottom on a few restarts, and the one restart we were on the top, and we all accordioned into each other, so I don't know. Kind of, it didn't really fall my way. We're still able, I mean, still got third, and I was kind of chopping tonight up as a DNF just with how we normally run here, but we actually ran pretty good, had some good green flag runs, and it's just so hard to pass. The front end it just felt so rigid going over the bumps in 1 and 2 that if you got on the bottom in 1 and 2 of somebody, you just couldn't get off the corner. You needed the whole track if you're going to be down there. So it's just too hard to pass. And, but still, I mean, we went 50 laps almost at one point on green flag. So good on us. And I don't know where we go next, but should pretty much lock us into the chase if we weren't already. So go get them in the playoffs.
You're heading to Daytona next week for the last race of the regular season. What's your outlook going into that race?
I mean, trying to win. I mean, you know how I do at super speedways. I'll probably be up in the top pack for the whole race and get wrecked on, coming to the white or something. But that's fine. We're not racing for points next week, so it doesn't really matter too much. But before y'all kick me out, got to shout out Brent Wednesday's gone by. Been getting back in the groove of shouting him out here lately. We had a little cold streak. Now we're kind of hopping on a little heater, so hopefully we can ride that into the sunset for the playoffs and see if we can't get another championship somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Now, before we get you out of here, this is not racing related, but if you can look here on what Robert's got going on, do you wear that when you suit up and race on iRacing every week, or was that just a special circumstance for the picture?
No, that is my Halloween costume, and I made the mistake of sending it to the elite group chat on Snapchat, and Kendall screenshotted it. So I'm really, really glad that everyone's getting to see it. Yep, that is my 250-pound ass right there, and Cal Naughton Jr. Halloween costume. My buddy's gonna be Ricky Bobby, and we're gonna have a good time on Halloween. And I'm glad that everyone in the elite racing community. I'd love to see the numbers on Chad's tweet, but yeah, really love the fact that that's getting shared everywhere. But
Hey,
I did
man,
it to myself.
you look great in it. All right, we are trying to find some single women out here for you to hit you up. All right.
Well, I don't think any single women are watching us race fake race cars. So
Hey, you never know, man. All right, you never know.
Probably not any I want to hang out with. But if you are, you know where to find me.
Well, all right, Tate, we got to get this over with before it goes off the rails if we're not already there. But congrats on the run tonight, and come back and win next week at Daytona. Wheels down all day long, and come talk to us again.
I'll probably be in the turn 3 catch fence when I talk to you, but I'll probably end up talking to you at some point. Peace out. Good win, RC.
Alrighty, who was our P2? That was Tooker, wasn't it?
David Tooker.
All right, we are now joined by David Tooker. David, take us through your race. It was pretty quiet. We didn't mention you too much, but you ran up at the front, just top 5 all race long, ended up P2. What more did you need to go and get RC?
Chris, it was just a mixture of things. We didn't really have the greatest qualifying effort. Got a little loose off of 4, barely tapped the wall enough to give me a 0x and started up last. ended up missing the grid, unfortunately, but actually it ended up playing out to my favor because they had a huge wreck in them off of 2, and I was able to miss it. Luckily able to stay on the lead lap, but just fighting our way through the field. This race, I felt like it was gonna be a brawl, with it being a short track, and history of short tracks and elite racing hasn't just been the greatest, and I felt tonight was just going to be just trying to survive, but we actually ended up getting a long green flag run, about I'd say 30-40 laps or whatever it was. We got 2 of them actually, so that helped us a lot there. I felt like our paces on the long run, worked our way up from 37th or whatever it was, whatever last place was, up into the top 10, and there I felt safe, and just trying to really just squeeze out the passes when you can. This track's very notorious for being a 1-lane racetrack, not able to make passes, especially on the bottom lane. Bottom lane is just so bumpy coming off the corners, but found ourselves in the top 5, and we were sticking with those guys all throughout the race. So I knew it was the pace was there. It's just a matter of who was going to make the mistake, and if you're able to capitalize on it. And we got lucky with a couple restarts. Ended up being second on that final restart with about 3 or 4 to go, but we just didn't have enough time to get next to RC. I felt like I maybe could have had something for him, but just ran out of laps.
Absolutely. And David, you had one of the very few cars that actually didn't have too much damage, if any damage at all. And you started way in the back of this thing. What's your secret for getting through there without ending up in any of those impact or in those incidents?
It's just knowing who you're racing around, and knowing, who's trying to be predictable. Um, I felt early in the first few laps, I was like, I'm just gonna try to make it through whatever wrecks happen, and luckily or unfortunately a wreck happened right in front of me, and I was able to miss it. But just it was just all about making the right moves at the right time. It's just you don't want to go in there, dive bomb somebody, make something unpredictable move, and end up causing a crash because you ain't get involved or you crash someone else out. It's just all it really was for me was just trying to stay patient, and know that the race is going to come to me. The spots are going to come to me. I just got to do my job behind the wheel, and save the tires best I can for the long runs that we got. And luckily we were able to do that and ended up with a podium.
All right, David, give us your outlook heading into Daytona to end the regular season, and any sponsors or shout outs you want to give here before we let you out.
Well, Daytona is just anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it in the real life Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series. We've seen it all. Anything can happen there, but I think my goal with me being safe on points is just it's a race to go out there and try to get a win. Not necessarily going to be aggressive by any means. If I make it towards the last half of the race or so, then I'll definitely start to be aggressive. I don't really feel like the strategy is to hang out in the back at these plate races anymore. For the longest time I was doing that, but it just kept getting crashed out. And just recently I started pushing hard early to keep myself up front, and been finishing these races. The last few races at Daytona and Talladega, I've gotten top 10s, top 5s. I think in the Xfinity Series, ended up with P2, so, or whatever it was. It was definitely a podium, but I think the goal for Daytona is just to be smart, but be aggressive, be calculated, and just know that we're good on points. So luckily we don't have to worry about that going into Daytona. But shout outs, just want to thank everybody at this Pro Edge team. Ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you can't really complain with that. And Tate Laddle, a close friend, Trevor Elam, we basically grabbed the top 5. Even Garrison getting up in the top 10 too after pitting. But just we had a lot of fast cars. I felt like either one of us in the top 5 or 6 could have won that race. Matter of who got out front and when. But like I said, everybody at Pro Edge Racing, all of our sponsors, TA Services, Blue Egg Marketing, Brixi, KMP Graphics, Join Apps on our Cup Series side. There's so many people that help make this thing run as well as it does, and really thankful for what they do for us behind the scenes. Also want to thank JD Designs. He made this beautiful car for me. Made so many of my cars the past few seasons. Has been such a good partner to work with, but also more importantly a good friend to me. I've known him for many years, and I've raced side by side with him for many years, and there's nothing but respect for him and what he does for us, whether that's in the paint booth or on the racetrack. So shout out to him. Also want to thank you guys up in the booth for us for what you're doing up here. Chris, I know you race on Wednesdays. I know you love commentating up here. You always love talking about the drama. Robert, I appreciate you stepping in on the commentary booth. I know you were racing with us last season, but it's fun seeing you up here. You guys both do a really good job. You guys bounce off each other really well, and this will definitely be a race I look forward to watching back. So thank you guys.
I don't know if you would call what I'm doing on Wednesdays right now racing. I'm out there, but
Hey
it's not
man, you're out there. You're just getting right into. You know, it's just unfortunate luck. But I think you're gonna win a race here, whether that's in right now or in the playoffs. You're gonna win a race. I'm calling it
well,
right now.
hopefully it's right now, or else I won't be in the playoffs. But all right, David, thanks for coming up here and giving us your time. It's always nice to get to talk to you, and you and Tate have been up here. It seems like every week for like the last month. You guys just pushing everybody else out, and RC as well. So come back, talk to us at Daytona. Maybe all the Pro Edge guys get up front, work together at Daytona next week, and good luck on Wednesday as well.
Plan. Thank you, boys.
All right, we got the race winner, RC, coming up here to talk to us once again. RC qualified 30th. I thought maybe tonight was the night you were going to have a rough go of it, being locked into the playoffs. You could afford a bad race or two, but pushed that on back, went ahead and won from 30th to show you can win without starting at the front. Take us through your night and how you survived the craziness at the start.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. I mean, I told myself, I was fast in practice, and it was just so hard to put a qualifying lap together. It's such a fine line of getting loose. And I screwed up my first lap and then reset and went for the second lap and just tapped the wall out of 4 and doesn't count your lap at that point. So, and I don't exactly have a very good I rating. So I was definitely way in the back for all the people that didn't qualify. So that didn't really help out. I just knew I needed to stay out of trouble. The luckiest thing for me tonight was that first wreck. I think I barely squeaked by Chad in the wall on the outside by like a millimeter on each side. So I was able to go from 30th all the way to like 15th or 14th just in one go. So that helped out a lot. But it was just trying to pick off people as it goes. I wasn't trying to rush anything, and every time I'd get by somebody, it wasn't just because I was able to get by. They would make a mistake or something, and that would allow me to get my nose in there. So I didn't really feel like I had the car to really win. I mean, all of us Pro Edge guys were really fast. I mean, I think we finished 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. And Garrison, he was hanging out with us, and he finished pretty well. So we did really, really good. I think Pro Edge is on a pretty hot streak right now. I think we've won the past 2 weeks straight. One of us has won. So I'm excited to get on to the chase.
Absolutely. And, throughout the race tonight, it seemed like every time someone would get the lead, they would come into the lap traffic, and the lap traffic would either have an incident ahead of them, which would trigger a wreck with the leader, or just make it really tough to get by. How hard did you find it to navigate through the lap traffic tonight? And what was really the key for you in getting through that safely?
Yeah, I think the only reason I really got by Garrison was just because of lap traffic. I mean, you just got to catch him at the right spot. This track, there's really one line, and it's even just hard to pass in general. So you catch a lap car, you better just hope they can move wide, but then you might catch them on the exit in your 2x2, allow somebody else to get a run on you. So it was tough to navigate. You just kind of luck of the draw on where you catch lap traffic. But it wasn't too much of an issue for me. I seemed to get pretty lucky with lap traffic, for at least for tonight, catching them at the right spots and just not having them impact my race too much, and just kind of just clocking consistent laps.
Yeah, and as we move forward here, you're locked into the playoffs. So next week you get to go out and have an easy race at Daytona. So what's your outlook, and what are you trying to do at Daytona? And any sponsors or shout outs you want to give here before we let you get out of here and go celebrate your win?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be missing Daytona. I'm going to be in Sebring Monday, Tuesday. So I'll be back for the Cup race on Wednesday, and that's the one where I'm not locked in, where I really need to perform. So hopefully this Wednesday I have a good race in the Cup Series, and then same thing with next Wednesday. But I'll be missing Daytona. Not exactly that disappointed with it, just because I know how my plate tracks go. I'm either 1 or I'm 30 something. Getting wrecked out, whether it's early, late, it didn't really matter. The plate tracks, they're a lot of fun. But I seem to always be on the bad end of the stick for plate tracks. But for tonight, of course, Rayco Machine and Engineering Group, they're on every single one of my cars. I hope that this just continues to get more repetitive as the season goes on. That I get to shout them out. Obviously, Pro Edge Racing, we've been on a roll. in the truck series last night and then tonight as well. And just past 2 weeks, we've been really solid. So we're hoping to carry that into the playoffs. And of course, you guys up in here, the booth, you guys do an awesome job. Chad, who runs the league, even though you're trying to keep 40 odd some people in each series happy, it never works. But he's doing a really good job managing it. He's got the job that nobody else would want. Somebody's going to be angry at some point. So he does an awesome job running these leagues, and I'll be keeping on coming back for as long as I can.
Well, all right. Congrats on your win. Come back and talk to us in a couple weeks. Good luck at Sebring. Good luck Wednesday. And like you said, hopefully it doesn't go too good for you because I'm racing you for that playoff spot over there.
Yeah, I just got to collect some solid points. I think I did pretty well. The Indy win helped me a lot. Get up somewhere in the middle of the playoff running. So just need 2 solid runs, and I think I should be all right.
Well, all right. Good luck at Sebring, man, and we'll see you here come playoff time in the Xfinity Series, racing for a championship.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Well, Robert, we saw some wrecks. We saw some periods where they couldn't run green. We
Yeah,
also saw a couple green flag runs though that were pretty long, so that was a nice change of pace. It's when we talk about a bad race versus a good race, I think tonight was okay. It was an okay short track race. We just don't want to see caution after caution, and tonight we saw that with 2 runs that were right around 45 or 50 laps. It felt like we had a couple long runs in there mixed in with the group of cautions. So it was a good race overall. What's your takeaways here and final thoughts before we turn our way towards Daytona?
yeah, absolutely. Tonight was definitely one of the better short track races that we've had. I mean, obviously, some of these races you come into and you just see caution after caution, like you mentioned, and yeah, we had a few cautions. I think a dozen cautions, but we also had some long runs mixed in, like you mentioned, and you know we do have to quickly touch on a few cars here that finished in the top 10 and even just outside the top 10 that had really good runs tonight. Um, obviously RC Anderson, David Tucker, Tate Lytle all came from deep in the field and got the podium there. Matthew Weeks did a great job and finished 4th. That should help him hopefully try to work his way into a playoff spot. I mean, some of those other guys he's battling had bad luck tonight. I definitely have to give a shout out to Trevor Elam. That guy went from back to front multiple times tonight, came home 5th, and that says a lot about his determination to try to make the playoffs here as well, and even just have a good season. I mean, he's had his ups and downs, but 5th place is a good spot. Rucker did a great job. Ethan Stanley as well. Garrison Hogan, Scott Crump. We saw him a lap down, if not more than 1 lap down at some points from his incidents. He came home in 9th. Chad Frankenfield 10th. And then, Gerald Campbell did a great job. White Knadel, Dustin Dewar, Michael Klein did a great job, as I mentioned. We don't usually see him up there, but he got himself a top 15 tonight. Jesse Rasmus, Dave Carpenter, Latham Joyner, Michael Hossack, Cody Harrington, and Vincent Isabella, top 20. So good night for those guys for sure. As you see the rest of the field on the results page here, a couple guys with some bad luck. But it'll be interesting to see what happens next week at Daytona, as that's a totally different ballgame, Chris.
Yeah, heading over to Daytona, going to be a lot of guys racing for their season. A lot of guys making some crazy moves, and a lot of guys racing to win. Just wanting to win. So I think we will see a great race in Daytona. It should be a fun race. I can't wait to see everyone here. We couldn't do this without, of course, our wonderful sponsors, everybody at Mrs. Goody's Goodies, TA Services, Blue Egg Marketing, and Brixi Cam. Of course, everyone here at the Elite Racing Network, and yourself and Dave here, Robert. So come back and see us next week as we are live from Daytona. Tune in later this week. Wednesday night, we got the Cup Series, and I believe next Sunday, we've got F1 again. So
IndyCar Friday as well.
we got IndyCar Friday. So see a full slate of racing here over the next couple weeks. You can find it all right here on the Elite Racing Network, and come back and see us next Monday for the regular season finale at Daytona.